Hi everybody, my name is Shannon and welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Today's a fantastic day to come and join me. It really is Sunday. Sunday's the day that I like to, in my crafting world and my crafting endeavors, to give back. Give back to the community, give back to somebody else, make things that will put a smile on somebody else's face. That's really it. It started out as Scrubby Sunday, and I redubbed it as Cloths for a Cause because I'm making washcloths, and gonna change it again, right? Might as well. We're ever evolving. And the reason being is right now, I'm making washcloths for the American Starfish Organization, and I've been doing that for months and thoroughly enjoying the process. They're collecting washcloths all the way up until Veterans Day, November the 11th. Feel free to join in. I am not a middleman. By all means, make one, make two, make 100, whatever your heart desires, and send them to the address that I have linked down below. I've also got their website, so you can go ahead and look them up and determine if that's somewhere you would like to spend your time, your energy, and your resources to donate to. There are so many causes that you can donate time, effort, resources. Let's face it, if you're using yarn, you're knitting or you're crocheting, that's resources, that's money, right? Somebody spent money on that. Even if it was donated to you, somebody at one point spent money on that. So you get to choose where you want to donate. I've decided, obviously, that I'm doing this right now, but again, it's up until November the 11th. Absolutely wonderful organization. They are collecting the washcloths for homeless vets. They've set up tiny houses. They've got washing stations. They've got all sorts of things to help veterans, give them a hand up, right? You know, if you're down on your luck, you have something that happens, so you don't always need a hand out. You need a hand up. You need somebody to help you. And that's what the organization does. So I really think that's fantastic, right? And I've made a commitment to myself to make 2 washcloths a week, all the way up until probably November the 1st, because I need to get them to them. And I think that'll be pretty much my cutoff date to be able to get them and send them and make sure they make it in time for November the 11th. Would you like to see the 2 that I made? One of the other things that I've enjoyed doing is using other people's patterns. I can do my own pattern, I can come up with my own stitch designs, but I like to elevate other people in the same process. This is one of the designers that you've seen. If you've watched these before, you've seen me make her washcloths. This is the Crunch Stitch by Tiffany Hansen. Look at that beautiful, beautiful stitch definition. This yarn is, I used all of it with both cloths, and this one right here was the leftover of the yarn. And then I bordered it with, and I did a circle in the center and then the square, and just let the yarn do what it was going to do. Let me show you what that one is. It's this right here. It's the Lily Sugars and Cream, but you see how it's got all the cotton in it, and then it has the terry cloth type stuff. Like, I've got some that's just the terry cloth or whatever you want to call it by itself. So this one has everything already in it. It retailed at Hobby Lobby for $4.99 at the time. I got it for $1.24 during one of their clearances. But if you wanted some similar, different colorway, you can definitely get it. So this was my first time using this yarn. I have used this scrubby, what's it called? Scrubology cotton. I have used this stuff before, but this is my first time using it already mixed in. And you can see how it did a wonderful job of striping up with the colors. I had some left over, and that's where I came up with this one. I didn't worry about making sure that I completed a row or anything along that line with this one. I just left it the way that it was and bordered it and put some scallops on it. It's a washcloth. It's going to get wet. It's going to look a little wonky. It's okay. And this particular texture I thought was really nice for a washcloth. It's like a terry cloth, you know. It's a little bit rougher. It's not horrible rough. It's not horrible scratchy, but it is a little bit rougher. And I think for a washcloth, that's nice to have that exfoliating in the center. And it gave me a great chance and a great excuse to use some yarn that I've had on my shelf for a while. You notice this is my cotton cube, and you can see a difference. You can see the paint behind there. You can see what color my walls are. My walls are a light pinkish purple. Actually, it's kind of a bright pinkish purple. I mean, look at that. Okay, that is my wall. That's the wall. All the walls in here, that's the color. When we moved into the house, that's what color this room was painted. And everybody that saw it was like, oh no, are you painting that? Are you going to paint that? That is absolutely horrible. I personally love it. I think that is absolutely fantastic. So I have that. And if you've seen some of my other displays and everything, I'll have things on a carpet. So the carpet that I have in my room too is a fuchsia type pink. It's got some orange in it and some blue. I've got the blue cubbies in some of my cubes, right? So everything ties in really, really well. And it was great because we didn't have to paint when we came in here. I liked the color. I was happy with it. I mean, I've got yarn cubes all over. You can see the color off the top of the yarn cubes and around. So it's not like the whole thing is that color, although even if it was, I'd still like it. So anyway, I got sidetracked. It happens. But I'm really happy because of this, because I have been making so many washcloths to donate and give to this charity. That cube has shrunk. I can put more things in there if I choose to. Don't buy any more. Don't buy any more. I'm gonna buy more. I might not buy I might not buy the cotton to put in there, but I can tell you I'm not gonna buy more yarn. Yeah, I'm gonna buy more yarn. It's just yes. My bills are paid. You know. I'm making sure that all the important things are taken care of. We have food on the table. The bills are paid. I mean, okay, there you go. I'm not taking anything from anyone else. So sorry about that. I'm just having a blast. I'm getting all kinds of sidetracked. So I have made these. These right here give me no end of joy. I like the heft of that. Look how pretty that is. I like the heft of that. I like the colors of that. I like on this, the quirky center, the round, and it just fun. They make me happy. I mean, look at those. They make me happy. So one of the other things that I'm working on with this is I've gotten so many suggestions and ideas for giving back. You know, like this whole Giving Sunday. And once the American Starfish Organization is no longer collecting these cloths, I'm going to still be doing something for giving back, different charities. So each week I'll show the progress of what I'm making. Now, depending on what I'm making, I might not get completed projects each week, like with the washcloths, is they don't take as much time. And depending on what I'm making, if I'm making hats, especially knitted hats, I may or may not get a hat a week, considering I'm also doing all sorts of other stuff. But I can show you my progress and I can show you what I'm doing. Or the Camp Boggy Creek, they're doing their blanket drive right now. It's an annual blanket drive, and they're getting blankets together all the way up until January to give to the camp. So this is an annual thing. So if I want to make squares, even if I don't make this deadline, even if I don't do that and send them off for this year, I can still collect them, make 1 or 2 a week, right? That'll still, if you're doing that, the blanket size that you're looking for is 35 to 40 inches wide and 40 to 50 inches long for that particular organization. Okay, well, I can make 2 blankets worth of squares in a year, easy, right? You know, it's like 42 squares, you know, 5-inch. Putting those together, rounding those, that's what that is. You know, if you spread that out over a year, you can easily do that, or just do 42. It doesn't matter. Do 1 a week and give yourself a couple of weeks grace. There you go. You've got a blanket. That simple, that easy. Or if you want to make the whole blanket yourself, do 1 a week and then spend the rest of the weeks putting it together. Easy. All sorts of different ways that you can do things to give back. I highly, highly suggest, if you are doing something, a charity, to give back, find something in your community. If you have a local yarn store in your state, multiple, you know, some states have more than others, right? Some of them are really prolific and others not so much. But if you do, that's a great place to start. A lot of your local yarn stores will collect hats and scarves and things along that line for the winter months, especially if you're in a colder climate. A lot of them will also collect the breast prostheses, like the knitted knockers, you know, the little pieces that women will put in their breasts if they had in their bras, if they've had a single or a double mastectomy. So, you know, that's another one that a lot of your yarn stores will actually collect for. So check your yarn stores out. You can also contact hospitals. You can contact VA. Well, I don't know about VA itself, but, you know, VFW, your nursing homes, your senior centers, if you have different things along that line. There's a lot of different organizations that you can look to. If you have a domestic violence shelter or something along that line in your state or near you that you're aware of, I'm sure they can always use help, and they can always use clothing and items. So you can contact them, contact local. I was also told prisons, juvenile detentions, things that you don't necessarily think of. There's just an amazing amount of opportunities that you can look for. And if you're not able to find those locally, then by all means, go to another state, right? You know, look at other states and everything, and things that would cost more shipping, right? That's really what that belongs to. But if you can do things local, by all means, do something local in your community, helping your community out, giving people that hand up. That's what this is all about. That's what, to me, Sunday is going to be all about. And if you have other places, please feel free to put them down in the comments. I, for one, love to read them, and other people do too. I've gotten so many more ideas and so many places to look that I would have never thought of. And some things take a little bit of sleuthing, a little detective work. Your local hospitals, whether it's the neonatal unit or the regular hospital or anything along that line, you have to contact the right person. Well, that might take a few phone calls. But you know what the good point is? Right now, we don't have to pay for long distance. Back in the day, you did. So, you know, your call's not going to cost you any more, whether you have to make 4 or 5 calls or 1 or 2 calls. And how much will that make your heart feel wonderful to know that you're doing something, and, you know, make something with your scrap yarn. You know, you got a little bit of scrap yarn, make something. Make a square that'll turn into a blanket. Make a hat. Add multiple pieces of scrap yarn to make a hat. I'll be showing that pretty soon because it's getting to that time. We had frost. I'm in Colorado. We had frost on all the roofs this morning. And up in Marion Bells, I think that's how you say it, you know, there was snow. So, you know, depending on where you're at in Colorado, there was snow. I didn't have it. I'm good with that, but there was snow. And it's getting to that time where it's getting a little colder. I'll get up in the morning and it's chilly. You want to put on a jacket or a light jacket, sweater, something a little warmer. And then by the afternoon, depending, you're stripping everything off. You know, it's hot. So it's the morning heat, afternoon AC, not necessarily, but you know what I'm getting at. You know, you've got those wild swings with temperature that we're dealing with, and it's time to make hats. And I am itching to make some hats like I did last year. And what I did then was I combined 2 strands of fingering weight leftover sock yarn, and so it has wool content, but you know, the people I was giving it to had no issues with wool. So this leftover sock yarn and the 2 strands of completely different types of yarns, and each hat was so unique and so wonderful doing that. And I'm really looking forward to not only doing that, showing you how I did it, the techniques, and kind of this is the before and this is the after. You know, I was surprised with the results that I got last year, and I enjoyed that. I don't have a single hat. I made over 30. I don't have a single one left. I gave all of them away. They always find a home. They're wonderful. They're appreciated. And the wool content, if you're not allergic to it and you're in a cold climate, it's the best. It's going to keep you warm. And I really enjoy doing that type of stuff. So help me out. Come up with ways. Tell me what you do, whether it's just 5 minutes that you're thinking about helping somebody. You know, what do you do? What do you do to give? What do you do to make things better? Just to put a smile on somebody's face. I'd love to hear it, because, you know, we can all use that. I like the stories. I like being able to, I call it this is be the sunshine. I really do. I actually say that at work, is I like being that person that puts a smile on somebody's face. I don't want to be the one that walks down the hall and people are like, nope, not gonna happen. You know, I don't want to be that. I'd rather be the person that, you know, someone comes over and when they leave my desk after talking to me, they have a smile on their face, right? You know, that's just it. Well, I've been talking enough and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Don't forget to please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later. You have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. Bye-bye.